ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीराम जयम्। शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। Namaskar and welcome back to Amara Bharati Samskrita channel, where we are studying the Manika class 10 Sanskrit textbook. In that we now look at the Ashtamaha Pathaha, lesson number 8, Tirukkural Sookti Sourabham. The meaning of the title is Tirukkural, fragrance from its noble sayings. We look at the lesson along with an English explanation. So, what is the meaning of the title? Tirukkural Sookti Sourabham. Tirukkural is a great literary work in Tamil written by great poet saint Tiruvalluvar. Sookti is noble sayings, wise sayings, moral sayings or ethical sayings. Sourabham is fragrance. So the meaning of the title is fragrance from the wise, noble sayings of Tirukkural. Now Tirukkural is a work in Tamil, as I told you, and one great person has translated some verses of the Tirukkural into Sanskrit, and that's what we are going to see now in this particular lesson. As usual, the lesson starts with a conversation among a set of people. Chennai Nagarasya Samudra Tataha, seashore of Chennai city. Tatra, there, Tiruvalluvarasya Pratimam Drishtva, upon seeing the statue of Saint Tiruvalluvar, Chhatraha Parasparam Charcham Kurvanti, students discuss among themselves. Sharada says, Namite, O Namita, Pashya Pashya, look, look, Etam Pratimam, look at this statue. Manye Kaha Api, Kopi Mahakavihi, I think this is a great poet. Namita, Katham Manyase, Namita says, how do you feel so? Sangeeta says, Kim na pashyasi yat asya haste tu pustakam iva kinchit virajate. Don't you see, Kim na pashyasi, don't you see, yat, that, asya haste, in his hand, to pustakam iva, something like a book, is virajate, is shining bright, is glowing, glittering, standing out radiantly. That's what Sangeeta says. Now Aditya says, yes, yes, Kimapi likhati saha, he is writing something. That is what is shown in that particular image or the statue. Next, Vaibhav says, Vaibhavaha Nanu atra eva likitam, atraiva likitam, indeed, written here itself, which means below the statue they have written something, and that's what Vaibhav is reading, written here itself. Esha khalu mahakavihi Tiruvalluvaraha asti. Esha khalu mahakavihi Tiruvalluvaraha asti. This is that it is written that this is indeed the great poet Tiruvalluvar. Saumya says, Saumya, Aho, Esha eva mahakavihi, this is indeed that great poet. Yena, by whom, Tirukkural iti mahan pavanaha grantha virachitaha, by whom the great sacred work, Pavanaha Grantaha. Pavana, sacred, means that which purifies everybody who reads it. That kind of a work, Pavana. Grantaha Virachitaha, is composed, or Tirukkural is composed or written. Hardika says, yes, Mama Janakaha tu, Mama Janakastu, my father indeed, Pratidinam eva asya patham karoti. My father indeed reads this book every day, which means he makes it a daily practice of reading this particular book, Tirukkural. Tena tu adhika amsha padyani kantasthi kritani. By him, many poems in that book have been memorized. Kantasthi krita means they have been memorized by heart. He knows it, he can chant it without even looking at the book. That's what Hardik says. Adhokshaja says, Aho smarami, I remember. Asmakam Samskrita pustake to, in our Sanskrit book indeed, Asya eva granthasya katichit padyani, some verses from this very book, Samskrita bhashaya anudya pradattani, are translated to Samskrita and presented. Sarve all. Tarhi avashyam eva patishyamaha. Then we will surely study that lesson, tam patham, that lesson, jnana vriddhincha karishyamaha, and will increase our knowledge. So this is the conversation between a set of students. Now this is the statue of Tiruvalluvar, and at the very land's end in Kanyakumari, this is the Vivekananda Rock Memorial, and just between the Vivekananda Rock Memorial and the land there is a Tiruvalluvar statue, which is a very tall Tiruvalluvar statue installed there. We can go and see whenever you go to Kanyakumari. Now the Tiruvalluvar, fortunately for those of us who do not know Tamil, it is available, the translations are available and you can download them from the archive.com website. There is a book translation by Ramachandra Dikshitar, and there is also a short book which has selected verses of Tirukkural given and also translated to English by C. Rajagopalachari, who is also known as Rajaji. So I will just tell you how it starts with. First is Kadavul Valthu, means in praise of God. So we look at the very first verse of Tirukkural. It says, Akara mudala eluttellam adi bhagavan mudatte ulah, means all the letters have the letter A as their origin. This world has God, Bhagavan mudatte ulah, means has God as its origin. So he is just Tiruvalluvar, the great poet Tiruvalluvar, first invokes God before he starts writing this particular book. So in Sanskrit also it is told that Akaravachya Bhagavan, means the word which starts Bhagavan is starting with the letter A. Everything starts with A is indeed Bhagavan, is what it says. So he says Akara mudala eluttellam adi. So that's what he says. So all the letters having the letter A as its origin, this world has God as its origin. Now we go to this particular lesson. This has 8 poems and we look at them one by one. Pitaya chhati putraya balye vidyadhanam mahat pitasya kim tapastepe ityuktistatkritagnyata. Pitaya chhati putraya balye vidyadhanam mahat pitasya kim tapastepe ityuktistatkritagnyata. Padacheda, Padavibhaga is split of words, is Pita yachhati putraya balye vidyadhanam mahat. Pita asya kim tapaha tepe iti uktihi tat kritagnyata. Anvaya, prose order is Pita putraya balye mahat vidyadhanam yachhati. Asya putrasya pita kim tapah tepe iti uktihi tat kritagnyata. The pratipadartha, the meanings of the individual words are: Pita is father, yachhati gives, bestows or provides, putraya for his son, balye in his childhood, vidyadhanam the wealth of education or learning, mahat big. Pita father, asya of the son, kim what, tapah tepe performed the penance, austerity, iti uktihi, saying like this, tat kritagnyata is the real gratitude which the son can pay to the father. The overall meaning is, father provides the great wealth of learning or education to his child during the childhood of that child. The real gratitude by which the son or the daughter can repay the father is that other persons should say like this, what penance has the father done to beget such a child? What is the explanation of this? Parents put a lot of effort on rearing, bringing up their children. The mother takes care of the child, that the child gets the proper food at the right time, starting from the day of birth. Both mother and father put effort in getting the child properly educated so that the child can lead an independent life on growing up. It becomes the duty of the child to repay the debt towards the parent, though such a debt can never be fully repaid. People who interact with this person should ask, with the child when grown up should ask, what a nice person. I wonder what penance the parents did earlier to become the parents of such a great person. This is the real way to repay, at least partially. Second one. Avakrata yatha chitte tatha vachi bhaved yadi tadevaho mahatmanas samatvamiti tathyatah. Avakrata yatha chitte tatha vachi bhaved yadi tadevaho mahatmanah samatvam iti tathyatah. Padacheda is avakrata yatha chitte tatha vachi bhavet yadi tat eva ahoho mahatmanah samatvam iti tathyatah. Anvaya is yatha avakrata chitte asti tatha yadi vachi avakrata eva bhavet mahatmanah tathyatah tadeva tat eva samatvam iti ahuhu. Pratipadartha is avakrata is simplicity, means lack of crookedness, absence of crookedness. Yatha, just as, chitte, in the mind, tatha, in the same way, vachi, in words, speech, bhavet, is present, yadi, if it is there, tat eva, that itself, ahoho, say, mahatmanah, great men, great people, samatvam iti, as equalness, equal disposition, same disposition, tathyatah, actually, in reality. So the overall meaning is, if the mind does not have crookedness, a simple, straightforward, it's also called as arjavam, straightforwardness, and if the same simplicity and straightforwardness is present in speech also, so the mind is also straightforward without crookedness and speech is also straightforward, then great men say that this is true, actual equanimity in thought and word, which means unison in thought and word. So the overall explanation is, be the same in thought and word. Speak your mind only. Don't have one thing in mind and a different thing in your speech. Great people have unison in thought, word and deed. They speak what they think and they do what they speak. So their thoughts, their words and their actions are all in unison. Whereas wicked people have no such unison. Their speech is different from their thoughts and their deeds, their actions are different from their speech. Third one. Tyaktva dharma pradam vacham parusham yobhyudirayet parityajya phalam pakvam bhunkte pakvam vimudhadhi. Tyaktva dharma pradam vacham parusham yobhyudirayet parityajya phalam pakvam bhunkte pakvam vimudhadhi. Padacheda is, tyaktva धर्मप्रदां वाचं पौरुषां यः अभ्युदीरयेत् परित्यज्य फलं पक्वं भुङ्क्ते अपक्वं विमूढधीः. Anvaya is yaha dharmapradam vacham tyaktva purusham vacham abhyudhirayet saha vimudhadhihi pakvam phalam parityajya apakvam phalam bhunkte. Pratipadartha is tyaktva, having given up or forsaken, dharmapradam vacham, words which convey dharma, parusham, harsh words, yaha, one who, abhyudirayet, says or utters, parityajya, having given up, forsaken, phalam pakvam, pakvam phalam, a ripe or also a sweet fruit, bhunkte, eats, apakvam, an unripe fruit, vimudhadhihi, foolish person. So the overall meaning is one who forsakes words which convey dharma and utters harsh words. Such a person is a foolish person who forsakes a ripe and sweet fruit and instead eats an unripe and bitter, sour kind of fruit. So always utter sweet words filled with dharma. Never utter harsh words. And this is what Tiruvalluvar says, dharma pradam vacham. Now, the word dharma, which I told you here, or sanatana dharma, as it's also sometimes called, is a very vast kind of word and which takes about 5 or 6 hours to get even a small glimpse. I will give you an even much smaller glimpse of what dharma is by means of this particular shloka. This tells about dashakam dharma lakshanam, 10 aspects of dharma. What are they? Dhitikshama damosteyam shaucham indriya nigraha dhirvidya satyamakrodha dashakam dharma lakshanam. What are the 10 aspects of dharma? Dhriti is courage or fortitude. Kshama is forgiveness. Dama is control of the mind, means mind control, which is quite a difficult thing. Asteyam is non-stealing, means non-coveting of other people's property. I don't want to possess any other person's property. That's the kind of asteyam. I don't want to take anything, possess anything which is not belonging to me. Then shaucham is purity or cleanliness. Purity, cleanliness means external cleanliness, means proper cleanliness of the body, purity of the body, whereas it also means purity of the mind, means good thoughts, noble thoughts. That is shaucham. Indriya nigraha is control of the sense organ. Then dhi is intellect, which is viveka, the power to differentiate between right and wrong, duty, non-duty, and so on. Vidya is knowledge or learning. Satyam is truth, absence of lies, and akrodha is non-anger. These are the 10 aspects of dharma. This gives a very small glimpse of what dharma is. As I told you, we can talk about dharma for about 5, 6, 7 hours in detail, and you can see some lectures on this on YouTube in other channels. Fourth shloka. Vidvamsa eva lokesmin चक्षुष्मन्तः प्रकीर्तिताः अन्येषां वदने ये तो ते चक्षुर्नामनीमते. विद्वांस एव लोकेऽस्मिन् चक्षुष्मन्तः प्रकीर्तिताः अन्येषां वदने ये तो ते चक्षुर्नामनीमते. पदच्छेद इज विद्वांसः एव लोके अस्मिन् चक्षुष्मन्तः प्रकीर्तिताः अन्येषां वदने ये तु ते चक्षुः नामनी मते. अन्वया इज अस्मिन् लोके विद्वांसः एव चक्षुष्मन्तः प्रकीर्तिताः अन्येषां वदने ये चक्षुषी ते तु चक्षुः नामनी mate. What is the Pratipadartha? Vidvamsah eva, only scholars, educated persons. Vidvamsah is a plural word, bahuvachana. Loke asmin, in this world. Chakshushmantaha, those having real eyes, plural again. Prakititaha are known, plural, bahuvachana. Anyesham, of others, vadane, in the face. Yetu, those eyes, indeed. Te chakshuhu, those eyes. Namani are just namesake, mate are considered. Overall meaning is, in this world, only scholars, wise persons are famous for having the real eyes which see. The eyes on the faces of others, ordinary people, can be considered as just a namesake. Only scholars have the real vision, the foresight, and can look into the future. They call it as looking around corners, can look at what others don't see. Other ordinary people just have eyes on their faces and cannot really see the truth. It is important for us to have foresight regarding events which are likely to happen in future. It is said that leaders, political leaders, business leaders, etc., who can see round corners, who have a lot of foresight, will be the most successful in leading their country or their company, leading their people. Next one. Yat proktam yena kenapi tasya tattvartha nirnayah kartum shakyo bhaved yena saviveka iti ritah. Yat proktam yena kenapi tasya tattvartha nirnayah kartum shakyo bhaved yena saviveka iti ritah. Padacheda is yat proktam yena kena api tasya tattva artha nirnayah kartum shakyah bhavet yena saha vivekah iti iritah. Anvaya is yena kena api yat proktam tasya tattvartha nirnayah yena kartum shakyah bhavet saha vivekah iti iritah. Yat proktam, what is said, yena kena api, by anyone, by any layman, by any ordinary person, tasya, of it, tattva artha nirnayah, the real right meaning of that, kartum shakyah bhavet, if it is possible to do, if it is possible to understand the right meaning of whatever somebody says, yena, by one, saha vivekah, he is the real man of wisdom, the vivekin, iti iritah, is considered or said. What is the meaning? One who is capable of understanding the right meaning of words told by any ordinary person is considered as a man of wisdom. What does it mean? A wise person is capable of understanding, discerning the correct meaning of words told by even ordinary people. Ordinary people may not be able to use the right appropriate words to express their thoughts. If the listener is just another ordinary person, then he or she may interpret such words incorrectly. However, a person of wisdom, viveka, vivekin, as what I told earlier, is able to correctly understand the message expressed through the words, even if the words expressed have different connotations. A wise person is able to see such messages in the right context and do the actions appropriately, accordingly. Next one. Vakpatur-dhairyavan mantri sabhayamapyakatarah sakenapi prakarena parairna paribhuyate. Vakpatur-dhairyavan mantri sabhayamapyakatarah sakenapi prakarena parairna paribhuyate. Padacheda is Vakpatuho dhairyavan mantri sabhayam api akataraha saha kena api prakarena paraihi na paribhuyate. Anvaya is यः मंत्री वाक्पटुः धैर्यवान् सभायामपि अकातरः अस्ति सः परैः केन अपि प्रकारेण न परिभूयते. प्रतिपदार्थ is वाक्पटुः, adept in speech. धैर्यवान, courageous, मंत्री, minister or even advisor. Sabhayam api, also in a group of people, say a king's court. Akataraha, fearless. Saha, he, kena api prakarena, in any way whatsoever, paraihi, by others, na paribhuyate, will not get insulted or defeated. A minister, an advisor who is adept in his speech, who is courageous, who is fearless, even in a group of people, will not be insulted or defeated by anyone in any manner whatsoever. A skillful minister never gets insulted or defeated. He will be an asset in a king's court. It is important for a king, a ruler, and an administrator, a CEO of a company to have wise advisors. A king should show extreme diligence in choosing his advisors. An unwise advisor can indeed jeopardize the king's position itself. Even a CEO of a company should have very capable advisors, wise advisors. If unwise decisions are taken for a company, then the company itself may have its future in peril. It means the company may not be existent in a few years. So it's very, very important for a person in a place of authority to have wise set of advisors who are courageous and who are adept in speech and who are fearless in a group of people. Next one. यैच्छत्यात्मनः श्रेयः प्रभूतानि सुखानि च न कुर्यादहितं कर्म सपरेभ्यः कदापि च. यैच्छत्यात्मनः श्रेयः प्रभूतानि सुखानि च न कुर्यादहितं कर्म सपरेभ्यः कदापि च. पदच्छेद is यः इच्छति आत्मनः श्रेयः प्रभूतानि सुखानि च न कुर्यात् अहितं कर्म सः परेभ्यः कदा अपि च. अन्वय is यः आत्मनः श्रेयः प्रभूतानि सुखानि च इच्छति सः परेभ्यः अहितं कर्म कदापि न कुर्यात्. The प्रतिपदार्थ is यः, one who, इच्छति, desires, आत्मनः श्रेयः, prosperity for himself, च प्रभूतानि सुखानि, and lots of or plenty of happiness, न कुर्यात्, should not do, ahitam, hardship or harm, saha, he, parebhyah, for others, kada api cha, at any time he should not do. What is the meaning? One who desires prosperity for himself and also lots of happiness, prabhutani sukhani, for himself, such a person should not cause harm to others at any time. If you don't cause harm or hardship to others, then you yourself will get prosperity and you will succeed and also get lots of happiness. So it's also said, do unto others what you would expect to be done unto you. Never cause harm to other persons or beings. The last one, आचारः प्रथमो धर्मः इत्येतद् विदुषां वचः तस्मात् रक्षेत् सदाचारं प्राणेभ्योऽपि विशेषतः. आचारः प्रथमो धर्मः इत्येतद् विदुषां वचः तस्मात् रक्षेत् सदाचारं प्राणेभ्योऽपि विशेषतः. पदच्छेद is आचारः प्रथमः धर्मः इति एतत् विदुषां वचः तस्मात् रक्षेत् सत् आचारं. सदाचारं is सत् आचारं प्राणेभ्यः अपि विशेषतः. अन्वय is आचारः प्रथमः धर्मः इति एतत् विदुषां वचः. तस्मात् प्राणेभ्यः अपि सदाचारं विशेषतः रक्षेत्. प्रतिपदार्थ is acharah, conduct, behavior. It actually means good conduct, good behavior. Prathamah dharmah is the foremost dharma, is the ultimate dharma. Iti etat, like this, vidusham of scholars, vachaha, words. Tasmat, therefore, rakshet is to be protected or preserved. Sadacharam, good conduct, good behavior. Pranebhya api, even using one's life, visheshatah, especially. The meaning is, scholars say that good conduct is the foremost ultimate dharma. Therefore, good conduct is to be preserved, more specially even at the cost of sacrificing one's life. So, good conduct and good behavior are to be preserved and protected at all cost. You saw the word dharma earlier, that good conduct is the foremost kind of dharma, is what sage Tiruvalluvar is telling. This brings me to the end of this lesson part of this particular chapter, Tirukkural Sookti Sourabham. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. See you in the next video with the exercise part of this very lesson. Shubham Bhuyat, Mangalamastu, Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu.